What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here. We're live. Maybe not on YouTube yet, but over on Rumble, we're certainly live. I don't know why it takes so long for this thing to pick up now, but it is what it is. Hopefully, everybody will be joining us very shortly if they're not already. But it is Sunday, and it is Sunday Sports Wars. And if you wanted to get up really early to watch your Chicago Bears, congratulations. This was your week. 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern to wake up, and already by 8:35, you were, oh, Caleb Williams got sacked. Great. I'm glad I woke up for this. But they turned it on. The Bears right now are winning 21-10 against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Caleb Williams, 3 touchdown passes, a bad interception. But other than that, one bad throw has looked really, really good all game. So I'm hyped. I'm excited. Let's see if they can continue this drive. They've got a 3rd and long going on. But I am joined, as always, by Fear the Beardo. What's up?
Yeah, I was watching some of the Bears-Jaguars. Caleb Williams getting some work done on the ground. He had a few good rushes today. He had a big rush, and he's actually playing smart, man. He's playing smart. He's not taking those big hits, except for when he maybe tried to go to the end zone, get into the end zone. He took a little bit of a hit, but, man, that dude's tough. He's playing good today, except for that bad interception deep down the field. Trevor Lawrence, he's not really connecting with his receivers today. They're not really getting anything going on offense except for a touchdown just right before we hopped on this show.
Listen, going up against that Bears defense, it's easy to lose steam really quick. And punching the ball out at each and every opportunity.
Yep. USC looked good yesterday in the first half. We were missing our big guy on defense yesterday, Eric Gentry. He was out. He wasn't playing yesterday. He's a ball hawk, man. He's everywhere. So USC was really missing him on defense. Yesterday, before the Penn State USC game, teams in the Big Ten traveling 2 time zones were 1-9 in the Big Ten. So it looked like Penn State was going to fall under that trend until they picked it up in the second half yesterday. That game went to overtime. It was a good game, man. It was a good game. But unfortunately, USC lost. I can see Penn State dropping down in the rankings for going into overtime against the unranked USC. We'll see. Alabama's probably surely going to fall too, struggling against South Carolina yesterday. But Texas stood business. Texas took care of business yesterday against the Sooners in that Red River rivalry. So you'd love to see that. If you're a Texas fan, good day for college football. Next week might be even better for college football. And I'm looking forward to the NFL today.
Yeah, and we're going to get into some of those college football matchups and the results from a big day yesterday on Saturday. John Matrix from Black and White Sports. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Good to be here. I must admit, I think I can actually make an NBA team. I've only scored 2 less points than Bronny James in 3 games. So that's saying something right there.
You got a better plus minus than Bronny James.
I definitely do, man.
Well.
I mean, the teams are, I got a plus minus of 0. He has a plus minus of minus 40.
That's right. And I see Alex McCarthy. Ryan, tell your Bears to let my Jags win. No, I'm not going to do that. They can go fuck themselves. I would. Listen, the Jags have a team that when they're rocking and rolling, they can play, but they have just not been on the same page a lot of times this year. It's why they're 1-4. Probably should have won some of those earlier games, but the Bears are taking care of business. They're driving down the field. I saw somebody in the chat, Mike has bad knees, I think, said, Caleb Williams is a really good front runner. Well, the Bears have trailed every single game this season, so I don't know what to tell you about that. I also saw someone said, imagine if they'd taken Jaden Daniels. Yeah, imagine Jaden Daniels would be not be actually calling audibles on the line. He would be making one read and then running. We could have Jaden Daniels. That's true. But instead, we've got Caleb Williams, who's actually playing the quarterback position. And I'm looking forward to 10 years of Caleb Williams as a Chicago Bear.
He'll be there that long.
Yeah.
He will.
Bye week start this week, too.
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
I saw this week there was 4 teams off this week. I didn't notice last week.
The Lions and the Titans were off last week, and there's maybe a few other teams as well.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But let's get into a little bit of what did happen yesterday. And you talked about the Red River rivalry, and it was not a very good game. Texas absolutely destroyed them. And I can go to the scores for college football right now. Want to put this up there. Let's actually share this whole window. But you can see Texas, number 1 Texas, with their new quarterback, who's really their old quarterback. Quinn Ewers gets back in there, has a really solid game. Texas takes care of business against Oklahoma, never in doubt after that second quarter. And Texas decided to send a message. They have not forgotten, apparently. Imagine in a Baker Mayfield jersey.
I know, dude.
Bring a jersey to this game and plant fucking flag.
Ryan, your audio's cutting out. John, are you hearing that too?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I wasn't trying to share audio, but maybe it's coming through a little bit. But anyway, Baker Mayfield, bringing a Baker Mayfield jersey out here. Sound all right now?
Yeah,
you're good.
And planting the flag in the middle of it. They have not forgotten Baker Mayfield, what he did. What is that, 8-9 years ago?
Yeah, how long has Baker been in the league for Texas to have this grudge against Baker Mayfield? And you know what this tells me? Huge day for Baker Mayfield today against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans, where the Saints, they're starting Spencer Rattler today, who is a Sooner. Well, he kind of a Sooner and also a South Carolina Gamecock.
I feel like he played for like 5 teams, but I think it may have only been 2.
It was just 2. But, dude, big game for Baker today. But yesterday, Quinn Ewers getting the start after taking 3 weeks off. He started off slow, and to be honest, he didn't really have that good of a game yesterday. He had 1 touchdown pass, 200 passing yards. I think he had 199 passing yards. Mostly, Texas was very impressive on the ground yesterday. They didn't really need to be impressive through the air because their ground game was really working for them. Wisner had a huge game yesterday.
Well, they took off. Like, again, they jumped out to that big lead and really didn't need to do much after that.
Well, I think, was it not Texas's first possession? He threw a pick. I think Quinn Ewers threw a pick their first possession.
And I wanted to go to this because one of those touchdowns for Texas was
it was a huge run by Wisner, and then he fumbled on the 2-yard line. The ball went into the end zone, and then number 11, I forget his last name, jumped on it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Exactly. Yeah. So you had some interesting plays in that as well. But Texas, number 1, takes care of business. Like I said, I don't think, unless Quinn Ewers really gives them a good reason, I don't think you're seeing a move to Arch Manning. We saw what Arch Manning can do, and I think they're sticking with Quinn Ewers, at least for the foreseeable future, unless something else happens.
Yeah, if you see Quinn Ewers start struggling towards the end of the season, SEC championship, Quinn Ewers is struggling, you might see Sarkisian put in Manning for the playoff. I don't know, man. I've watched every single Texas game this year, and the offense looks way more impressive and opened up with Manning back there.
Looks a little more explosive with Arch Manning. Yeah,
100%.
And he can use his legs, as we saw.
Yep.
He can use his legs when he needs to as well. But this game was the game that so many people were talking about yesterday. Obviously, first year with these teams like Oregon and USC in the Big Ten. And Oregon just made a big statement at home against the Buckeyes. Come back in the fourth quarter. And it's really the last play of the game that has so many people talking, as Will Howard made an unforgivable mistake. No one's ever going to forget this. When you have the ball just inside the 40-yard line, so 38-yard line, you're looking at potentially a 55-yard field goal attempt. Little bit long, especially in college football. So you want to try to get a couple more yards. You do still have a timeout if you're Ohio State. And the kid just lost track of the clock, and this is what happened.
Down here at the bottom for Jeremiah Smith. 3rd and 20. Howard, a lot of time coming off. Howard's going to run for it.
Too late. Time has expired. Time has expired.
A Tony Romo situation.
Rookie mistake. That's a Dak Prescott situation.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, not Tony Romo.
You guys have had so many fucking mid quarterbacks. I know it's tough to keep track of.
Yeah, that's Dak Prescott
versus the Niners right there.
Niners, back-to-back years, Dak made that mistake against the Niners.
I would say a little bit because there was a lot of people bringing that up. So many people were calling it like Dak Prescott. I will say there's a couple things different. One is that was a designed play call for Dak Prescott.
Yeah, right. And there was a little bit of time left, but
because I think the goal was to slide with 10 seconds left, come in and spike it. This one, you had a timeout. but you only had 6 seconds. That's either got to be a quick out route, a fucking slant across the middle, or really just a quarterback draw, get 5 or 6 yards, go down, call the timeout. That's all you have time for there. And you just feel so fucking shitty for this dude.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
When did the time run out?
As he was sliding.
When he was running.
Here's the clock
Just
right
2
here.
seconds.
Howard's going to run for it.
Ooh.
Nah, dude. That's game. That's game.
Yeah.
That's game.
Yeah, you
right
have
there.
like a millisecond
It is.
between when his ass
It
hits the
is.
ground and he's still in motion sliding and the thing. And the timeout has to get acknowledged. The Bears just fucking scored again, baby. Let's fucking go. Keenan Allen, 2 tutties on the day. Cole Kmet, 2 tutties on the day. Caleb Williams, 4 fucking touchdowns. All you fucking haters, suck my dick. Caleb Williams, baby. Still probably won't get Rookie of the Week because Jaden Daniels will throw for like 60%, have 1 touchdown, 1 interception, run for 70 yards, and get Rookie of the Week somehow. But, that's just how it goes. That's okay. We'll have the better deal in the long run. I have no doubts about
I think that's game of the week.
Which one?
Redskins, Ravens.
I mean, everyone's comparing like Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels.
I'm not buying into all that. I'm not buying into that. I'm not doing that. I see a lot of idiot fucking analysts in the sports media trying to make that comparison. That's just all fucking phony talk. I'm not buying into all that bullshit, but I do genuinely think that those 2 teams, I do think that's the matchup of the week, but not because of the quarterback comparison.
He barely got his second foot in on that touchdown reception.
That's fucking Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
That's my man, Keenan Allen, right here. My bro, Keenan Allen, who I met when he was playing for the Chargers.
There you go.
I'll just tape a Chicago Bears logo over that.
Why not?
Shout out to Keenan Allen. But back to college football. So I got distracted by a 4 touchdown pass performance by a rookie quarterback at Chicago. All you fucking Justin Fields stands, all you fucking losers. God, you suck so much cock, and it's so fucking funny to see you guys coping about Justin Fields now. Well, he doesn't have enough help now. That's not what you were saying the first fucking couple weeks. Finally, a team that believes in Justin Fields. Well, the defense let him down. No, they fucking didn't. Justin Fields let his team down. That's what fucking happens. God, it makes me so fucking happy. And you're going to play him enough times, we get a 4th round draft pick out of you. So thank you very much. Anyway, let's get back to some of these. You brought it up, Beardo. Penn State, USC does go to overtime.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking game for Penn State going all the way out there. Your USC Trojans obviously now back to 500.
Yeah.
Penn State stays undefeated. And right now you're looking at the top 10. And because of so many of the switch-ups we had with some of the upsets last week, Big Ten at the number 2, 3, and 4 spots. And I don't really know if this drops. Like, Ohio State and Oregon should probably switch places. But, I mean, it's tough to justify bumping Ohio State too far down after that loss at Oregon, when you had a chance to win the last second, a big comeback and stuff like that. But you've given up all hope of USC making the playoff at this point, right?
Yeah, I don't think USC is going to make the playoffs anymore. Yesterday was their really last hope. I think if USC were to beat Penn State yesterday, you'd have seen them back in the top 25. You'd have seen them ranked, and then with a potential if they win out to make the college football playoff. I don't think it's happening this year, especially the first year in the Big Ten. Big game yesterday for USC. Like I said before at the start of the show, Big Ten teams traveling this year before yesterday, traveling 2 time zones, were 1-9 this season. And it looked like that Penn State was going to fall under that trend. USC had a big first half. Penn State couldn't really get anything going. They got a couple of field goals. But I think USC was really hurting their big guy on defense, Eric Gentry, number 18. Dude's a fucking ball hawk, man. He's a linebacker. Dude, he makes so many fucking plays. He just always finds the ball, and he's really talented at punching out balls out of a receiver's hand or a running back's hand, doing and recovering those fumbles too. Eric Gentry is a fucking guy, man. Remember that name. Remember that name, Eric Gentry. In a few years, he's going to be a stud in the NFL in a few years. But yeah, USC, man, that it was their game to lose yesterday after the first half, and that's exactly what happened. And in college football with the overtime rules, if you don't at least score, and you get the ball in the 25, okay, and USC's kicker, his long this season is a 54-yard field goal this season. In college, that's insane. That's insane for a college kicker.
Solid in college, yeah.
So the fact that he shanked a field goal in overtime yesterday, I knew as soon as he shanked it yesterday that we were going to lose that game because it's a 25-yarder. But our kicker, he's pretty fucking good for the Trojans. So they played a good game, but I think Penn State drops.
You think Penn State drops after this?
They struggled. They struggled against an unranked USC. I think they drop.
They don't drop. Who jumps them though? Alabama, who barely beat the fucking unranked South Carolina team. They got fucking lucky. Georgia, who fucking barely beat one of the worst Mississippi State teams we've seen in recent memory. Like none of them, they can't jump over Penn State.
I can see them falling to 4 or 5.
They're at 4.
Oh no, sorry, 5 or 6. I can see them falling to 5 or 6. My bad.
I just don't think so. Like I don't think USC's that bad that it makes them drop unless you had something else kind of crazy happen.
I could absolutely see Georgia jumping them, and Penn State drops to 5 or 6.
There's no way that Georgia jumps Penn State after Georgia at home, but struggles against a Mississippi State team, and Penn State goes on the road.
You got to keep in mind the committee's love affair with the SEC.
I agree, but I just don't think that this is the one that'll do that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see enough there. But maybe we shall see. Ole Miss LSU, that came down to the wire. That goes into overtime. LSU gets away with one. And they beat number 9 ranked Ole Miss. LSU, and Brian Kelly's still dancing down there. He might lose every first game of the season, but he's still dancing down there at LSU.
You want to talk about the Alabama South Carolina game for a second?
I guess we can. Why the fuck should we ever talk about Alabama again? This team sucks. Jalen Milroe, fucking bum, fucking bitch.
Mistakes,
Didn't South Carolina recover an onside kick in this game too?
Yes, at the very end. Yes,
okay.
At the very end of the game, South Carolina scored a touchdown. They went to go kick an onside kick. They recovered it. It looked like it was all over for Bama. All South Carolina had to do was get into field goal position. South Carolina does a fucking like a Hail Mary. I don't know that they did like 4 verts.
And he got picked off in the end zone.
He threw a pick down deep near the end zone for Alabama to just sneak away with the win yesterday. But it looked like it was all over for Bama. I was texting Jeremy yesterday during this game, and I'm like, Milroe, another pick for Milroe, another mistake by Milroe. Milroe is a fucking bum. Like, don't get me wrong, Milroe's a great athlete. He's not a good quarterback.
No, he's not. He's not.
Speaking of pits,
oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence threw a pick. Bears got the ball. Caleb Williams, one of those scrambles. He can't do that in the NFL. It's not college. Well, he just fucking did.
It's starting to get ugly for the Jaguars.
Scrambling?
Yeah,
I'm not. Caleb Williams was always good on his legs.
He made a big play scrambling. Then DJ Moore just got in for the touchdown, baby. Let's fucking go.
The Bears scored again?
Down.
I remember a very specific game last year, USC against Arizona State. No, sorry, not Arizona State, just Arizona. Went to double overtime. Caleb Williams put the team on his back, on his legs last year in that overtime, double overtime game.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball at the 1-inch yard line. On review, that didn't get in for DK.
Caleb Williams is very competent on his legs.
Yeah, so basically, he had like 3 guys after him in the backfield. He spins out of it, runs towards the sideline, throws across his body to Cole Kmet underneath, who took it for about 30 yards. So, but the Bears game, it looks well in control for the Chicago Bears against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, it's just the Jaguars. Yeah, I'm sure everybody was saying that when the Washington Redskins are beating 1-win teams each and every week. They say the same exact thing. I did want to bring up, though, I haven't got to say a lot about my Purdue Boilermakers this year because they're dog shit. However, they fucking barely lost to Illinois. This game goes into overtime. Purdue decides to go for a 2-point conversion to win the game. It ends up not working out. They take a sack. But I got to give a shout out to my Purdue Boilermakers, giving Illinois hell at Illinois. So got to at least give them some love when I can, because it's not very often.
Your boy, your boy's getting to start today for the Raiders.
Aiden O'Connell, baby. It's Aiden time. But yeah, well, another perfect. What a great matchup. We'll see what happens.
More ugly games this week.
Mike Hill for 5. Who's your money on next week with Texas and Georgia? Texas, based on what I've seen.
Yeah, Texas, but I want to see where the line's set at. But right out the gate, you got to go Texas.
I just feel like they've been more impressive this year.
100%.
Maybe not against. I think that Georgia's had the Alabama game's really fucking tough. That's like the game of the year for them all the time. But with what they've been asked to do, Texas has been solid.
Where's it at? Texas or Georgia? I believe it's in Texas.
DeAndre Swift just punched the ball in. Bro, Caleb Williams was an inch away from his 5th touchdown pass of the day, baby. Dom, our man Dom H with 10 gifted Sports Wars memberships. Thank you, Dom.
Let's go, Dom.
Taker for 5. My Hawks lost again to San Fran. Our body language sucked in that game. Everyone looked pissed off at each other. Gino broke a tablet over his head. Hey, the San Francisco 49ers are good. Despite them losing those 3 games somehow, like the 49ers are a good team.
Yeah,
they just fucking are.
And
the Seahawks are an average team.
Yeah, they are banged up.
The Under Armour Gamer, the Bears are basically the Detroit Pistons. Thank you, Under Armour Gamer. Spirian for 5 with a super sticker. Thank you very much, Spirian. Over on the Rumble side. Hey, we got to get this. Got to get these records out here. Last week, week 5, Ryan was 8-5 overall on the year. I'm 39-31 on my Sunday picks. John was 6 for 6. He's 30-24. Beardo was 3 for 10. 30 for 40 on the year. Yes, I included the early morning game for Beardo. And
Thank
Ryan,
you. I needed it.
He definitely needed it. Thank you for that. Also, Jose Contreras, in that last play in the Alabama game, it would have been a safety if the receiver would have tackled him. Never give up until the whistle blows. The interception occurred at the 2-yard line. Yeah, and he almost took a knee. And the other Alabama DB was telling him, no, you got to run it out. And that saved the fucking game for him, honestly. John Getz for $1. Only wins for the Steelers recently have been AB's X account and Elon waving the terrible towel. Now start Russ and at least don't give up a 4th rounder. Jags killed themselves with defensive holds. Hey, listen, you can't stop an offense. You got to cheat to try,
Yeah, Thomas said Russell Wilson is riding the bench.
Yeah, he's back up today.
Yeah.
Well, he's officially the backup, which has been different than what we've seen. These past couple games, they've had who's been the guy who came in for like a snap or two the other day?
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen, yeah, he's been like the backup. And so officially Russ is the backup. We'll see if he sees any action. Green-haired anti-liberal, happy Navy birthday to John and Ryan. Is it October 13th today?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I suppose it is. October 13th today,
Yeah.
Which I didn't even think about. We do have to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, though, because the playoffs, I don't know how much you guys have gotten to watch, but especially the San Diego series, I was so keyed in because I had San Diego season tickets for 4 years while I lived in San Diego when I was in the military. I really wanted to see them come on top of the Dodgers, even though I picked the Dodgers to make the World Series. Did not happen, but we have had some great series and some great moments. The Mets, the 6th seed New York Mets, the underdog Mets. So except they spent over $300 million this year, the highest payroll in Major League Baseball, the New York Mets. So not exactly an underdog story, but sneak into the playoffs in that 6th seed. They're going up against the Dodgers in the NLCS. And over on the other side, the Cleveland Guardians, who have not been they haven't been a fucking sexy team in the AL like the Yankees have been, but the Guardians have just been really fucking good all year long. And now they're going to play the New York Yankees in the ALCS. I still am sticking with my picks of Dodgers and Yankees. But these are, to me, these are two teams. If you want to talk about truly, it feels like they're playing together as a team and a lot of momentum. Bro, the Mets they could be one of those teams that making the wild card and go on to win the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, the Mets just find ways to win games. They're never out. I love that about the Mets. I'm going to stick with my Yankees-Dodgers World Series pick, but I'd love to see a New York rivalry here between the Yankees-Mets World Series.
You want to see another Subway Series?
Subway Series. I'd love to see that.
2001?
No, that was
2000 or 2000? Yeah,
2000.
Yeah, 2001 was Yankees-Diamondbacks.
What about you, John? Who you pulling for? Obviously, you're a big
man.
Yankees guy, right?
Not really. I mean, I don't have a bone in this fight whatsoever. I really don't. I mean, think of the Mets, though, man. Remember the Mets last season came in, all these expectations, they were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're one series away from the World Series. Hey, that'll be pretty good. I mean, Subway Series would be good too, but I believe I already picked Cleveland to go, so I got to stick with them in the AL. So we'll see what happens. I don't have a dog in the fight, though.
You know what's crazy is that the Mets at one point had Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, and Justin Verlander all in their pitching staff, and they never were in the rotation together with each other.
Wait, say that again.
The Mets had
Last
Jacob
season.
deGrom, Max Scherzer, and Justin Verlander all on their roster and were never in a pitching rotation with each other.
They're all just fucking injured.
They were all just injured.
Yeah.
Whatever. Did Noah Syndergaard go to the Angels and his career just got destroyed? Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, Noah Syndergaard, he went to the Angels, and then he went to the Phillies last year. He went to the Phillies for the postseason last year, and now I don't know. I don't know where he's at. He might be out of the league.
Anyone that goes to the Angels, get out quick or you might be done.
You want to go through it? You want to go through it? I can fucking tell you. Gary Matthews Jr., Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton, Tim Lincecum, Vernon Wells, C.J. Wilson, Noah Syndergaard.
Rendon.
All of them.
Rendon.
Anthony Rendon.
Rendon, who was like an MVP candidate when he went there.
Yeah.
And oh, shit. Oh, God, that was going to be picked.
We also rented Mark Teixeira for half a year, and then he goes to the Yankees and wins a World Series.
Yeah. Bro, it's rough being an Angels fan out there.
I can tell you all of them, man.
It's rough. Rob Cortez for 5. Good morning, Sports Wars. Got back from Coachella last night. Very tired. Had a lot of fun. GPG and hold on. Had a lot of fun. GPG and let's go Yankees. Go Pack, go. It's probably. Oh, so you're a Packers fan and a Yankees fan. Oh, let me guess, you grew up in the 90s.
You're a Lakers fan too, I bet.
Yeah, a Bulls fan maybe. Now I'm just playing, Rob. But fuck the Packers in all seriousness. B Chain for 5. I was at game 3 against the Phillies. Let's go Mets. You gotta believe we have the power of Seymour Wiener, Hawk Tua, and Grimace. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, the Phillies. This has been a little run for this Phillies team. You know, did they make 2 World Series back to back?
No, Diamondbacks went to the World Series last year.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
We almost had a rematch of the World Series because the Astros and the Phillies both blew Game 7s. I believe it's both Game 7s.
That's right.
Just blew it.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Fucking.
That's how you got the Rangers Diamondbacks last year.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, the one that everybody wanted, Rangers Diamondbacks.
I love those kind of World Series, though. I love those championships, like Super Bowls and World Series, where it's just like teams that nobody really expected. Like you had the Rams and the Bengals a few years ago. I love that shit.
It's hard to believe that like Joe Burrow was like in a Super Bowl not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they should have won too.
Probably. Yeah. I was glad Matt Stafford got to win one though.
Sure.
Finally, I saw him suffer for a lot of years up in Detroit. Okay. So
I'm not feeling good about the Bengals now, man. That defense is awful.
That defense can't stop anybody.
Wow.
It's like, okay, Joe Burrow fucking throws like 5
Joe
touchdowns.
Burrow's doing his thing, man. But
yeah.
And you know who they play today?
Who?
Oh yeah, they play
the New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
On Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
and I'm going to miss it.
Is Malik Neighbors playing?
He's
or
out.
What?
He's out.
Malik
Neighbors
had a lot
is
of
out.
time to go to a Trevor Scott, or what was that? Trevor Scott concert? Is that where he went?
Travis Scott?
Travis Scott. Yeah, Travis Scott with his concussion protocol and stuff. That's fine.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking it very seriously. Malik Neighbors is.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else is taking things very seriously? LeBron James.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this fucking bum, LeBron James. We knew that as soon as LeBron James started pushing for his son Bronny to be in the league years ago, saying that he's already better than a lot of people on the Lakers roster, you kind of knew how all this would end up. That somehow, some way, LeBron, the GM, would end up making sure that his team drafts his son Bronny, even if he really doesn't deserve to be in the league at this point in time. And that's exactly what happened. And now all the stories are about how Bronny and LeBron James could make NBA history as soon as Lakers opening night, because they have plans for them to play together in rotations together. LeBron and Bronny. One problem, I don't know if anybody else is putting up numbers like this, if they would be even considering putting them on the opening day roster for the Lakers. Because look at this. Bronny James, through 3 preseason games, 0.7 points per game, 1 rebound per game, 0.3 assists per game, 0 steals, 1 block per game, 1.7 turnovers per game, 9% field goal percentage, 0% from the 3-point line. And of course, this is LeBron's tweet from a year and a half ago. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit, lightweight hilarious. He is the worst player in the preseason. Now, this is just preseason, granted, but you are going to have people that aren't typically in rotations getting in there and getting some action and stuff like that. He's had about 11 minutes per game through 3 games for the Lakers, and he has the lowest plus-minus of anyone in the NBA right now. And it's just being called out, right? Because of how transparent and ridiculous this is. LeBron James gets everything he wants, gets the coach that he wants, gets this, gets that. Anything LeBron wants, he gets. And that includes having his son play on his team, even if it might be taking up a roster spot or he might be taking minutes away from someone who's probably more deserving. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, remember, he's not playing against complete NBA competition. A lot of these guys are not going to make these teams. But, man, that post by LeBron has come back to haunt him. And you mentioned, what do you say, one block a game? 3 of those came in 1 game.
Yeah,
he's gotten worse. He's gotten worse, man. This is bad, man. And the Lakers have no interest whatsoever in winning games because they're going to trot Bronny out there, according to reports, the first game of the season.
Potentially, yeah. And I feel a little bit bad for Bronny James.
Very bad for him.
Because all these expectations, the only reason they're there, if he was just Jack Smith or something, we wouldn't be criticized or have such a critical eye on him. And even if he were LeBron James' son, but LeBron hadn't constantly been connecting them and putting him over and stuff like this the entire time, we'd probably let it slide that way too. But no, this is because of LeBron James, because of the way LeBron's been talking. He fucking tagged Call of Duty yesterday and was like, hey, Bronny told me he wants his own skin, Call of Duty. Let's make this happen. It's just so weird and cringe. And this is like the last ride for this Lakers team and for LeBron James. He should be focused on winning. And instead, they're focused on artificially creating this moment because LeBron James will never catch Jordan in terms of his legacy on the court. So it has to be all of this extra shit that LeBron tries to stack up. Oh, look, I played in the league long enough to play with my son. We were on the same team. Nobody else has ever done that before. Like, that's the kind of shit that LeBron is after for his legacy at this point in time.
Right.
Yeah, Michael Jordan was smart enough not to, he didn't play long enough. I mean, his sons, they were not NBA players, just like Bronny was an NBA player. But I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan could have did the same thing. Hey, go out there, draft Marcus, bring him over here. He could have did that if he wanted to. Now, would that have actually happened? Maybe. I mean, Michael Jordan actually was the GM of the Wizards.
He was a GM and not a very successful one.
No,
we should point that out. Yeah, not a very successful one.
Bronny doesn't want to be there, man. Bronny, like you said, Bronny wants to be a gamer. He just wants to stream. He wants to live stream with all these celebrities. He just wants to play video games, man. Bronny doesn't want to fucking be there. His dad's forcing him to do it. And I do feel bad for the kid because he knows on his own merit, he would have never made it into the league if it weren't for his dad. He knows he's not good enough. And what a shitty fucking feeling that must be to know that you're not good enough. And the only reason that you made it is because your dad had the leverage for it.
Yeah. He's a pawn. This is nepotism. Nothing more.
Yeah. And he's never going to get away from that, specifically because with the college season he put up, and we always do have to put the asterisk in there that he literally fucking died. You know, he went in a cardiac arrest before the season at USC, doesn't get healthy enough to start coming back till about halfway through that season, you know, but when he's on the floor, did not put up impressive numbers. If his name was not Bronny James, if he was not the son of LeBron James, he doesn't get drafted. It just doesn't happen. Yep. And even hearing some of the bullshit out there, well, the Warriors considered drafting him at 54, but didn't out of respect for LeBron. So. I don't know if that's real, first of all, but if it is real, go fuck yourselves. I would draft him out of spite. What is this soft bitch ass NBA? Well, we did it out of respect so he could draft and play with this kid. Fuck you. I would draft that motherfucker out of spite and never play him, put him in the G League. That's what I would do if I were running a team that supposedly had a rivalry with this guy, but that's not today's NBA.
Can they actually send him to the G League? Because I keep hearing that, but he has a fully guaranteed contract.
The contract they signed with him, I mean, they probably could. They probably could. However, they'd still have to pay him that fucking money they're paying him.
Ooh, that's a lot of money to pay too.
It was like that 3-year guaranteed contract, right?
Yeah, 3 years, $7.8 million.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, hadn't bitched about LeBron in a little while, so we had to. We had to talk about LeBron James, but we may as well get into some of the NFL games this season.
Let's do it.
After I catch up with this, I'm losing faith in Ryan Day as a big game coach, says the Ohio State fan.
Fuck Ohio State.
You know, they've come up short in a couple big opportunities. This one is, I mean, who knows if Will Harris is his name, right? If he tucks that ball a second earlier and picks up those yards, you still got a pretty long field goal college-wise, 47, 48-yard field goal, something like that. But at least it's an attempt. But, God, yeah, that's rough. It's easy to say I feel bad for that dude, and I do. Now it's a little bit different with NIL because that dude got paid $500,000 to come play for Ohio State. You know? So now it's not so much, oh, poor 22-year-old kid. He's just living his dream. Oh, he's getting paid $500,000 to play there. So I feel like you can criticize him a little bit. Yeah. But that's the current state of college football. Yes, I'm a Bulls fan. # beat LA. All right. So Rob is a Yankees fan, a Packers fan, and a Bulls fan. Where do you live? Where do you live? You're one. If you just switch your Packers to the Dallas Cowboys, then you really would have been like a '90s kid.
Yeah,
like when you grew up. But anyway, let's get to what we're looking at for this week in football. Now, Beardo.
Yeah.
Did you make any picks this morning over on Game On?
I did. Yeah.
Did you pick this first game?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, so I just, since you brought this in last week and you made it a big point that you had picked Minnesota, in that game and wanted to count, I feel like we should treat this one the same way.
Sure, yeah. I picked the Jaguars.
You did pick the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I did pick the Jags this morning.
I don't have it on record. I would have picked the Bears. We talked a little bit about on a Monday that obviously there's going to be a big game, especially for the Bears because their schedule gets really hectic later on. I still don't have any idea where I feel like the Bears stand in terms of the NFC North. Like I feel like that division is, between the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. Now you got the Bears thrown in there. I really don't know how I feel about the order that those should be in, but I would have picked the Bears if Jose feels obligated to. He can certainly include that. This has been a pretty dominating performance. Caleb had one bad throw He had one bad throw that was a pick early on in the game. Should have been a touchdown to DJ Moore. And I'm sure regardless of how this game ends, he's going to be kicking himself for not making that throw. But hey, we're seeing a Bears team put it all together. Not against the best opponent, the Jacksonville Jaguars, certainly, but they're doing exactly what they should have done, taking care of business in London. And that's what you love to see.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean for the Jags, though? Because now the Jags, they're going to be 1-5. And I feel like expectations were pretty high for them this year, especially now that you're paying this dude right here.
I think Doug Peterson's on the hot seat, man. How could he not be?
Gotta be.
Which sucks because I like Doug Peterson. I think he's a good head coach. But, I mean, the NFL's a business. So what are you going to do?
I don't know. What about you, John? Got any thoughts on this game that we're watching play out in London?
Not really, man. I mean, I didn't pick the game, but I would have fully expected the Bears to probably win this game. Not by like 20 by right now, but I probably would have picked the Bears. I mean, Doug Peterson was just in a Super Bowl a few years back, right?
2019.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is rough right here, man. This is rough.
Oh, shit. Oh, great cover up right there. Swift just fucking got hit and fumbled. Ball went flying. Offensive lineman covers it up.
Maybe it was 2018. God. Sorry, 2018.
Against Tom Brady, right? In the Patriots.
Right.
Yeah, Big Dick Nick.
Yep, Nick Foles.
Big Dick Nick Foles.
Carson Wentz still should have won the MVP that year.
How crazy things can change in a couple of years in the NFL landscape. Now you got Nick Sirianni, who might be on the hot seat this year.
Yep.
For the Eagles.
Yep.
But first game up, we've got Cardinals and Packers. Cardinals who fucking took it to the 49ers. The other day, which we weren't necessarily expecting. Against the Green Bay Packers, finally had a solid game with Jordan Love, finally get a win under the belt with Jordan Love on the field, which is probably a good feeling for them. I take the Packers at home in this game over the Arizona Cardinals.
Same here. I'll take the Packers also as well. Probably I'll take the over on the points though. I believe it'll be a touchdown game.
Ooh, over on the points? I'm going to go under on the points. I like the Packers at home. Jordan Love makes some stupid fucking mistakes sometimes, and they're kind of like the Jets. They find a way to keep their opponents close in games. I like the Cardinals to cover that 5.5 points, but I like the Packers to win.
The Cardinals are such a weird team. I feel like I say this every week. You can have completely different teams from half to half.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray can look unbeatable for a drive or two, and then you wonder what the fuck's going on. So it all depends on what team shows up. And that feels like it's always been the story with Kyler Murray, regardless of who the coach is there, that it's just, is he engaged? Is he locked in? Is he focused? Is he concentrating? I don't know. But I'll take the Packers at home in this one. Colts and Titans. Now, do we have any word on who
Anthony Richardson is starting?
God.
No Jonathan Taylor. No Pittman. Anthony Richardson starting. If
this was Joe Flacco, give me the Colts by 1,000. By a fucking 1,000 if it was the elite Joe Flacco. But you know what? Will Levis is dog shit. Titans aren't great. I'm picking the Titans in this game at home. Because I just hate Anthony Richardson that much.
There's a good chance, even though Anthony Richardson's starting, that Joe Flacco is still playing by the second quarter because Anthony Richardson's probably getting.
Everyone's saying Flacco's starting.
I seen
you lying
this morning.
To me, Beardo?
No, I seen this morning. Okay, this morning Richardson was starting. This morning, so that might have changed. This morning when I was on Game On, Richardson was starting, so it could have changed.
Oh man.
Oh, no. Colts quarterback Joe Flacco to start.
Okay.
Oh,
well, there you go.
Starting. Okay. Give me the Colts.
Well, there you go.
Then it's fucking the Colts. There it is. By 1,000.
Give me the Colts, too. Give me the Colts.
I'm just glad we have the chat here to help us out. Otherwise, we would have been,
Colts outright.
Fucked.
Colts outright, for sure. I'm not a dumbass. Listen, motherfuckers. This morning, Anthony Richardson was the guy.
How dare you say that to Sydney Sweeney?
Come on, Sydney. You're in my DMs. No, Anthony Richardson was supposed to go. As of last night or this morning, I don't know, Anthony Richardson was to go.
All right. Well, thank God that's not the case for the Colts.
Joe Flacco. Good.
Flacco. Go Joe Flacco, the most elite of elite quarterbacks. He will be winning this game. Are we all picking the Colts in this one now?
Colts.
Yes. We're all picking the road dog Colts. Got it.
Yep.
Texans, Patriots. This is a pretty easy one for me.
Texans all day.
However, you do have the Drake May factor. Drake May is now in there at quarterback. I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know how much that's going to be different than what we saw with Jacoby Brissett back there, other than Drake May's probably going to throw the ball a lot further down the field. But that is kind of the X factor. We don't really know what to expect. They could come out and surprise some people.
I hate that the Patriots are throwing Drake May out there. This is an abysmal Patriots team. Horrible. Offense is fucking horrible. The only halfway decent player that the Patriots have is Christian Gonzalez on defense. That dude's a stud. But other than that, the Patriots fucking suck. And why the hell are they going to throw Drake May in there into the fire, potentially ruin this kid's career, ruin any kind of confidence that this kid might have? Horrible. And I put this on the coaching staff and the inexperience with Gerard Mayo as a head coach to make this call. You stick Jacoby Brissett in there, okay? There's zero fucking reason to play Drake May at this point. Fuck that. This is horrible. Give me Houston all day. I'm going to lay the points with Houston's 6.5, favored by 6.5. They're covering that for sure.
10-point win.
It's tough because, you look around the league right now and the three other quarterbacks who have been starting that are rookies all have winning records. Spencer Rattler is going to get a chance to start today. I don't know how well that's going to go. And now obviously Drake May, but the way Gerard Mayo talked about Drake May and Jacoby Brissett, it felt like he felt Drake May performed better during training camp. And if he wasn't a rookie, probably would have got the job. So I think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to go well for them starting Drake May, but
yeah, me either.
I at least throw him back there, see what you got, and you can always just make the change after.
I hate it. I hate it. I feel bad for the kid.
I don't feel too bad for him. He's getting a lot of fucking money. Buccaneers, Saints.
This is my lock of the week.
The Saints without Derek Carr. The Saints without fucking what's his nuts?
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom, and that is a big deal for them. When he's not in, that is a big deal for them, especially when it comes to goal line stuff. They have a lot of packages they throw him in there at, whether he's just on the field as a tight end, whether he's blocking. It's a big deal when he's not playing, and he's been hurt the past couple games. And so now they're going with Spencer Rattler gets the start. I do think Tampa Bay takes it to the Saints. I don't know if Baker's inspired by his jersey getting fucking all shit over in the Red River rivalry game, but I think the Buccaneers take it.
I don't know what the prize picks are at on Baker Mayfield's touchdowns today. Whatever it is, take more. Take more on Baker Mayfield's prize picks touchdown passes today. Baker Mayfield's going to have a huge game today. Saints without Derek Carr, without Taysom Hill. You got Spencer Rattler back there. Spencer Rattler shouldn't be in the fucking league. That kid's a fucking bum. He sucks. He sucked at Oklahoma. He sucked at South Carolina. He had like one good game in his career at Oklahoma. This is going to be a fucking blowout. Give me the Bucks. Lay the points with the Bucks. This is going to be a fucking blowout.
Spencer Rattler is another one of those guys. Well, a lot of these guys that was in college like 7 years or something.
Yeah,
but that's what it felt like between the transfers and the COVID year and shit like that. But he's gonna see the field. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I picked the I lost the game here. Yeah, I'm picking the Bucks on this one here. I mean, boy, I like Baker Mayfield. I really do like Baker Mayfield here, and he's been really good this season. No Derek Carr for the Saints. Nah, I got to roll with the Bucks. I don't think that's going to be the biggest blowout. The Nets game may be the biggest blowout on the list.
Bro, this is such like a fucking terrible game because like the Browns are so fucking bad, and Deshaun Watson is miserably bad. However, the Eagles consistently have played to the level of their competition. Jalen Hurts has like more turnovers than any other quarterback going back like the past year or something like that. They have not been playing well. They've been playing really shitty. And
but they're not going to lose to the Browns.
Saquon Barkley and never let it touch. Never let Hurts fucking throw anymore. That's what I'd let them do.
They're not going to lose to the Browns. That's just not going to happen.
I'm picking the Eagles in the game, but I hate this game on principle.
I'm taking the Eagles too, but that 8.5 points, that's a lot of fucking points, especially for this Eagles team. I can see this game being like a 17-10 final score. I do think the Browns cover that 8.5 points, but give me the Eagles to win.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with too much of that. This is a game that everyone's going to be talking about. Yeah. Commanders and the Ravens, the Redskins and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson against what people are calling baby Lamar Jackson with Jaden Daniels. A lot of what's going on in Washington reminds me right now of the RG3 hype from a couple years ago. Him and Andrew Luck were in the same draft class. Jaden Daniels has played very, very well. I did say that last week when the Browns were able to get a little bit of pressure on him, he made some mistakes that we hadn't seen him make yet. Especially a bad pick that he threw in the end zone for no apparent reason, some hurries, some balls that probably shouldn't have been thrown. That was the first time we saw him a little bit rattled. But they obviously went on to win the game because the Cleveland Browns can't move the fucking football because Deshaun Watson is literally the worst quarterback in the NFL. But I have the Ravens in this game, especially at home against a rookie quarterback. But I expect we'll see some. I expect we'll see a little more potent offense maybe than we've seen from the Commanders in terms of explosive plays, taking shots against this Ravens team, because I think they're going to be down.
Give me the Redskins.
Ooh.
Give me the Redskins. The Redskins and the Vikings this year haven't given me a reason to bet against them, and I'm not going to do it until they do. I like this game to be close, but I'm taking Redskins money line. I think the Redskins are going to win, and this is a game, 51 points. Man, that's a lot of fucking points. Oh. I'd stay away from the total on this if you're betting, but give me the fucking Redskins.
I got to go with the Ravens, man.
Yeah,
the Redskins are definitely better than what I thought they would be so far this year, but I can't go against I can't see them going into Baltimore and winning this game. What do you say?
This is why Beardo says, "Oh, they beat my Giants. They must be great."
No, that's not, dude.
Jaden Daniels played really well.
That offense and their defenses looked really impressive. And Austin Eckler, man, he's been playing very impressive this year as well.
They've got 3 running backs that they're utilizing a lot. They are putting Jaden Daniels in, hey, let's look at half the field. Hey, make one read and then you're out. They're putting him in these situations for him to succeed, and he's succeeding. Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator there, and he is playing to his quarterback's strengths 100%. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think the Ravens are a better team than the Commanders. I think the Commanders have all you can play is who you're up against. And that's what they've done so far. But when you take on a Miami team with no fucking quarterback, when you take on a Browns team with no fucking quarterback.
The Ravens lost to the Raiders at home.
I know. But I think the Ravens are going to win this game. Chargers, Broncos.
Ugly game. Ugly.
Yep.
This is a tough one.
This is tough.
This is a tough one. I don't like the Denver Broncos. I did pick with them to win last week.
Dude, look at that total. 35.5 points.
Yeah, this Jim Harbaugh offense has not quite got rolling the way that they would like to for the San Diego Chargers. They are coming off a bye week, so hopefully Justin Herbert, any lingering issues that he may have had, good to go. You know what? I am taking the Chargers in Denver. I'm surprised they're favored based on what we've seen from the Chargers this year and what we've seen from the Broncos, but I'm taking the Chargers at Mile High.
I hate this game. I absolutely hate this game. Looks like Broncos in that offense. Bo Nix, he's starting to get things. He's starting to get comfortable back there. He's getting things turned around. Him and Sean Payton, they're figuring things out. The Chargers with Dobbins back there. He's been a workhorse for them. I think this is going to be a ground game for the Chargers. I don't think they're going to beat the Broncos through the air because Denver has a really good secondary. I still like the Chargers. I like the Chargers in Denver.
Man, give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers.
Confident pick from John right there.
Confidence. Well, it's kind of confident. It's confident enough on there. It's a coin flip, but I'll just go to the Chargers.
Steelers and the Raiders. Justin Fields once again going up against the best of the best. A Raiders team that's in the middle of a quarterback controversy and wide receiver controversies. So the Steelers are going to travel out there. Pittsburgh favored by 3. Now, Beardo, I would take you at your word about Aiden O'Connell getting the start, but we got to check it now because we had the Joe Flacco experience.
He's starting.
Aiden O'Connell starting. The chat will light us up. Yes, official. He is starting. I don't know how much that helps him. I like him. He's a Purdue guy, so I love Aiden O'Connell and really want him to succeed. You know what? Whenever I pick the Steelers, it seems like they lose. So I'm willing to take one for the team here. I am picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to go into Vegas and beat them. And I hope that blows up in my face and that they lose and that Justin Fields loses another game because that will make me happy. I don't want him to be successful somewhere else. I want to be right about him. So that's what I'll say.
Give me the Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders. Give me the Raiders, man.
Give me the steel curtain.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a fucking disgusting game to watch, personally. Like, this is going to be this. I will rather watch this game than this game. I think this is going to be the ugliest, worst game of the week. This is a good old classic game right here. Lions and Cowboys.
Yes.
This is going to be a fucking interesting game, too.
This is going to be a good game.
Cowboys coming off barely winning against the Steelers, despite turning the ball over so many times, despite the fact that none of this thing should have happened. By the way, the game is going final in London. Caleb Williams with 4 touchdowns, damn near 5 touchdowns, an inch away from 5 touchdowns, defeats the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. London, all decked out in Bears colors right now, baby. So congratulations on that one to Caleb Williams. But, what do you think about this game, Beardo? Lions, Cowboys.
This is going to be such an ugly game for the Cowboys. Lions all day. I don't know how that line isn't set at like 7.5. The Lions are going to absolutely fucking blow the wheels off of the fucking Cowboys. The Cowboys have the worst defense in the league. Micah Parsons is out. Also,
that's right. He is out.
Yep, Micah Parsons out. David Montgomery for the Lions just signed a big contract. He's going to have a big day today. He's feeling good, man. David Montgomery's feeling good. Lions, the total's at 52.5. I think the Lions might score 40 of those points in that 52.5 total. This is going to be a fucking blowout. Also, my favorite prop bet of the week over on Prize Picks, Dak over on interceptions. Whatever it's set at, if it's set at 0.5 on Prize Picks, he's throwing a pick today.
It's usually a good bet. It's usually a good bet for them for Dak to throw an interception. I'm also going to take the Lions. I'm not as crazy as you are about like the line being what it is. I think the line's pretty solid because I think Detroit's a better team. That indicates on a neutral field that Detroit would be favored by a touchdown, basically.
Yeah,
right.
So I don't have too much of a problem with that line. I think the Cowboys are going to score a lot, but I think the Lions are going to score more. I do think that it's going to be a back and forth game. But that Dallas defense, the only people they can stop are the Justin Fields led Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and that's not saying much. So
we cannot go 0-3 at home.
That's
another trend
at home, and boy, it has been ugly at home. I have no confidence, but I'm picking the Cowboys just because we need a win at home.
There you go.
We should not go 0-3 at all. But I don't have any confidence in this. If the Lions win, wouldn't be surprised.
Falcons and Panthers. Come on, I'm taking my boy Kirk Cousins, who, yeah, it feels like forever since we saw him on the field, because the last one was that like Thursday night game where they come from behind. He throws for 500 passing yards, breaks Matt Ryan's, I think, franchise record passing yards for a game on the Matt Ryan induction night to the Hall of Honor or whatever for the Falcons. But yeah, they're finally getting everything together, and Kirk Cousins has, I think, finally really shedded any primetime Kirk Cousins, big game Kirk. Like, he's shedded all of that. If Kirk Cousins has the ball with 30 seconds left, doesn't matter if there's a timeout or not, bet on fucking Kirk Cousins. But this isn't going to be the case. They're going to wallop the Panthers, I think.
Yeah, the Panthers fucking suck. And Drake London is going to play today. Give me the Falcons all day. And I think the Falcons, I'm going to lay the points with that Falcons -6.
Yeah, Falcons are going to cover that spread. They're gonna beat the brakes off the Panthers. Panthers stink. They just stink.
Yeah, I mean, they're more competent with Andy Dalton back there, certainly, but they're not going to win this game, I don't think. And then the Sunday night game, Bengals at the Giants. The Cincinnati Bengals, who cannot stop anyone on the defensive side of the ball.
They can't stop me.
Will they be able to stop Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes? Beardo, what's your take on this game?
Listen, I'm not trying to be a homer at all here. Daniel Jones has played very well the past 4 weeks. He's got 6 touchdown passes, 1 interception. That interception was a Hail Mary at halftime or at the end of the fourth quarter. I can't remember. I think it was halftime. Daniel Jones hasn't been making any mistakes. He's been very good. Wan'Dale Robinson is filling the shoes for Malik Neighbors also. Darius Slayton has been playing very well. The Giants defense combined has the most sacks in the entire league. Dexter Lawrence is the best nose tackle in the game, and also Brian Burns. He's a fucking ball hawk, man. He's fucking insane. Giants are without Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau went on the IR for about 4 or 5 weeks. So, you know, they might be missing him a little bit. I can't bet against the Giants right now, man. I'm taking the Giants tonight.
Man, I'm taking the Bengals.
This is my Super Bowl pick here. This may be a 36-35 game, but I got to roll with the Bengals.
Oh, I take the over on this game. 45.5. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game.
I just don't think. Let's look at the Bengals' past couple games. Let's see. They give up 26 to the Chiefs, 38 to the Commanders, 24 to the Panthers, and 41 to the Ravens.
Wow.
You know, this defense is having trouble. That offense got off to a slow start the first game, right? But since then, they've been lighting it up. And look at the game that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase had last week. Like, what more can you do, really? And you still end up losing in that game. You even set yourselves up for that game-winning field goal after the turnover. And, you know, it just...
Also, Devin Singletary out. Giants running back Devin Singletary out. I don't give a fuck. Tyrone Tracy, our rookie. Dude, he's got a fucking motor on him, bro. I love that kid. He fights for it, man. I love Tyrone Tracy. Give me the Giants, man. John, who'd you pick?
I bet the Bengals.
It's an opportunity for you to make up some ground, Beardo.
I'm trying.
You can look at it that way. And then, thankfully, we've only got one Monday night game this week.
Thank God.
Bills and Jets. This is a funny game. The Jets obviously just made a big coaching change. We didn't even talk about that because it happened
Robert Saleh
Monday or Tuesday. Like, Robert Saleh gets fired after starting 2-3, being one game out of, like, if they win this game, they're going to have a share of the fucking lead in their division. Robert Saleh gets fired. Defensive coordinator gets promoted to interim head coach. Let's just be very honest about this. This is Aaron Rodgers doing. Like, that's why this is happening. This is what he does, whether it's little things about that get started between him and Robert Saleh talking about, well, maybe we need to make some changes with the cadence and stuff like that. And Aaron Rodgers taking it personally, putting it out to the media. This is what Aaron Rodgers does. He manufactures resentment against his coaches. It's just something that has happened throughout the course of his career. It's happening again. Robert Saleh has been fired. I don't know if it changes anything for this team to fire your defensive-focused head coach when the defense has been playing pretty well. But what do you guys think is going to happen in this Monday night game? Because, it's a weird one because the Bills are coming off a bad loss to the Texans where they played like shit, but somehow still stayed in the game. I don't know.
The Bills are going to win.
Yeah, I think the Jets' struggles continue, and I like the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills on the road as well, but it's tough to know what the Jets come out looking like. I just think that Aaron Rodgers and this team have not looked in sync, and I don't think firing the head coach is going to change anything. I think that this is the end for Aaron Rodgers. This is the last season, regardless of whether they make the playoffs or miss the playoffs, and he's done after this.
Mm-hmm.
So, sayonara, Aaron. Been nice while you were here, but I think he's finally going to be done. He doesn't look like he wants to play anymore, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
All right, we just got a $10 from Game On Sports News and Picks. Fun fact, forgot to say on the show today, Falcons have never led by 7 points or more this season at any point. No, every one of their games has been fucking close.
Mm-hmm.
And all of their wins seemingly have come at the last second. But, dude, I can't bet against Kirk fucking Cousins. Come on. It's Kirk Cousins, man. What's your problem with Anthony Richardson? I think he's dog shit. I don't have a problem with him personally. I think the player is not equipped to play NFL quarterback. I don't think he's ever going to be a successful long-term NFL quarterback in the starting position. I don't think he throws consistently enough to do that. And he's big. He's fucking built like a truck, but he runs like a fucking Ferrari with one little problem and he's out. Anthony Richardson, lost cause. Go with Joe Flacco if you want to have a decent season.
He's a glass cannon.
Yeah. I just think he's shit. And I think you can see that, like you can see the way that the passing offense looks with Joe Flacco just in the little bit that he's been in the game, a game and a half so far that he's played. And he did the same thing in Cleveland last year, walked into a team that was struggling throwing the football and all of a sudden has like a top 10 throwing offense because Joe Flacco's better than Deshaun Watson and Anthony Richardson, even though he's 40 years old. Super base for 2. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. LeBron James. I wonder if Bronny ever got to see any of those. Average welder for 10. Fuck LeBron. Nepotism at its finest. Also glad Beardo has power back and GG members are safe. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Thank you.
We'll see if they fly. I know the one person that was flying today, and that was Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears. The first time the Bears have scored back-to-back games of 35 or more points in over 10 years. Since 2013. That has to be back in the Jay Cutler era, if I'm remembering right. So shout out to the Chicago Bears. Beat 2 shitty teams to do it, but I will take it. I will take it. Congrats, Ryan. Your Bears are finally decent. Listen, I predicted before the season that I thought the Bears were going to have 8-9, 9-8 season, right around there. I still feel that way. You know, they've got a couple games they need to win because their schedule gets tough down the stretch. But I'm fucking happy that Caleb Williams is playing the quarterback position the way that it's meant to be played. And I'm looking forward to the future for the Chicago Bears, as opposed to when Justin Fields was the quarterback. And all I was looking forward to is the end of the fucking game. Let me catch up over on the Rumble side. John Getz, come on, Ryan, just root for Fields to suck. So bad they throw Russ in a 7-0 final. Steelers winning with TJ Watt tipping pass going to Minka Fitzpatrick for a pick 6. Maybe that might be the way they need to win. Penguins off to a slow start, but Crosby with 3 points already, says John Getz. He has 19 points, 19 point per game seasons and could pass Gretzky if he gets to 20 this year as well, past Joe Sakic for 9th all-time in points. Hey, very cool. Shout out to NHL season is starting. NBA season is starting. Major League Baseball's in the fucking playoffs, which we talked about a little bit. And NFL season is in full swing. It's a good time to be a sports fan right now. It's a good time to be a sports fan. First time a rookie has won in London. Really? That's a fucking weird stat, though. But that is interesting. First time a rookie's ever won in London. First time a number 1 overall draft pick after a starting quarterback who's picked number 1 through the first 5 games is over 500 for like the first time in maybe ever. So Caleb Williams doing it all, regardless of how much you guys want him to fucking fail. And I know you do. I see you in the chat, and I don't care. I'm going to prove all of you wrong. What do you guys got going on, Beardo?
Just gonna watch some football, and then I got some G&G festivities going down later tonight.
There you go. All right, thanks for being here. John Matrix from Black and White Sports. What do you got going on, man?
Football, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I'm going to do. Probably drop a few videos later on today.
Boy.
I think Bam Bam Bigelow says, did we pick the Vikings? I'm pretty sure Vikings have a bye.
They're on a bye.
Vikings, Dolphins, Rams, and Chiefs all have bye weeks. So thank God we can go 1 week without every single person analyzing every flag that's thrown in a Chiefs game. That's a stress relief for me. So thankfully. But that is going to be it for us. Thank you guys for joining us, whether it's here or over on Rumble. And we will talk to you. Oh, no NBA talk? No WNBA talk because WNBA is irrelevant without Caitlin Clark. People are like, look, they had 1 million viewers. Congratulations. Caitlin Clark had 2.7 million in her playoff debut. So congratulations to the WNBA finals on, getting their viewership cut nearly a third by what Caitlin Clark had in a normal ass playoff game. Let's go Cardinals. #BirdGang. Eduardo Cuevas. We got any Panthers fans? #keep pounding. Any keep pounding fans? My favorite team saying, I think. But that's it for us. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.